the scientist Fatey Shipunov proved the existence of demonic energy. And flying saucers are only attributes, demonic phenomena sent to Earth. Moreover, the center and trajectory of their flight were determined. It's no coincidence that the scientist was killed under mysterious circumstances. He would have had time to give answers to questions after which the world would never be the same again. Fatey Shipunov, a brilliant scientist and a deeply religious man, managed to confirm the existence of the spiritual world by experience. In order to record its presence, he used such a device as an oscilloscope in his experiments. Thanks to it, the scientist found out that 1 square centimeter contains 1 trillion signals of wave functions. And each of them is a carrier of spiritual essence, which has a positive or negative sign. He argued that the material world is lifeless. And their experiments proved it again and again. Negative entities tended to register on the machine only on the left side, proving with perfect accuracy the existence of the anti-world. But unlike ours, it is not creative, it can only destroy the material one. And the physicist continued his research for several years. And the worst thing is that the number of 2 substances with a negative sign is increasing every year. According to the scientist, we are to blame for the fact that these matrices are becoming more and more common. It is we who attract them from the whole universe with our negative thoughts and actions. Of course, each person attracts negative entities to a different extent. For example, Fatey Shipunov was able to find out experimentally that one person has only a few matrices with a negative sign, while another person is literally covered with them. Therefore, the whole space is permeated with these entities and, as they say, the wave function of a demon can pass through any wall without hitting or changing the structure. He claimed that the material world was lifeless. There is such a thing as a soulless man. Instruments record that around him a vacuum is formed, into which electronic matrices with a negative sign are introduced and begin to control the person. It used to be called demonic possession, now we fix it with machines and it is really scary. According to him, they have a high density and store all the information about the universe. Because of their flexibility, they can take different forms, just like our spiritual substance, the soul, which also has information about the whole universe. It is also able to take different forms and move instantly to any point in the world. In his opinion, the soul exists outside of time and space. But as long as they are connected, the soul cannot reach its full potential. The scientist added that as long as a person is alive, he or she can develop many abilities. Because the soul has a lot of universal knowledge, a person can speak the languages of the entire universe. Fatey said that he was not allowed to publish many equations. Not only human beings have wave functions, but also the smallest particles of matter, molecules, Fatey Shipunov believed. There are such waves that can instantly overcome huge distances and be imprinted in every point of the universe. That's why our words, deeds, and events in the material world are preserved in the universe. And the wave functions that govern the material world see the whole universe simultaneously. In his last interview, Fatey Shipunov hoped that these formulas and diagrams would soon prove to the whole world, with mathematical precision, the existence of creative forces in the universe, on which the whole material world depends. Science had reached a threshold beyond which it had discovered a completely different world and had practically ceased to exist. Now it was up to the theologians. Our world is governed by the wave function, that is, physically by the spirit. It is the rod and fastener that holds all matter together in a definite form. If even one wave function falls apart, the whole atom falls apart. Experiments have been carried out in which one wave function was directed against another, one atom collided with another, and in a billionth of a second everything perished. Electrons, protons, positrons. In other words, science has opened up the world of spirit. Therefore, in the structure of knowledge of any nation, 95% should be theological sciences, 3 to 5% philosophical sciences, and a fraction of a percent classical empirical sciences. If such a structure is followed, the world will be preserved, but now, on the contrary, everything is upside down. Apparently, Fatey Shipunov's discoveries were inappropriate for someone, and he was found dead very early, at the age of 62, in his dacha near the Shamorda monastery, where he was subsequently buried.